Hello. Welcome, welcome. Sorry I'm a bit late today. Wee bit late. Only an hour. Welcome, boy. Unforgivable. Welcome, unicorn. Yeah, you know, honestly, I agree. I agree that it is unforgivable. Yeah, I just had to like do my morning routine and make sure my, make sure I'm taking care of my body stuff, working out, as it were. I woke up a bit late and did not do that. Technically, there's no schedule, so you're not late at all. This is true. I think my time slot is kind of 1 p.m. I've been wondering if I should change it, honestly. I'm always in a bit of a comeuppance with that, because it's like, okay, well, I mean, if we change the time slot, one of my most active viewers can't catch the stream. Poi just gets sent to the fucking Shadow Realm. And also, it's not like there is a reason to change it, right? Like, most things for me happen in the afternoon. I think the only problem is that if I stay up, like, kind of late, and then I wake up late, then, like, you know, I have to delay stuff because I have to work out, and then I have to, like, I need to get stuff done before stream, because I feel like after stream, usually I'm kind of tired. Like, it takes energy out of me. So, I've been meaning to work on a thing, and then I haven't done it, and then I'm like, okay, I'll do it today, and then it's like, oh, I cannot do it. Oh no. Depends on how extreme, but yeah, any later than like 3 hours from now is pretty impossible for me on weekdays, but also I don't think any individual viewer should have much sway in when you stream. Well, see, that's the unfortunate thing, Poi, is that like I don't have a lot of viewers, and I'm here to entertain people. So if I start later, then you are one of the few talking heads in the audience, so is what it is. Which, you know, if... I don't know, I guess. Because, for me, I'm giving it a few months to see if any of my opportunities arise. That's kind of the main thing I'm waiting on. It's pretty nerve-wracking, honestly, as there are 2 potential opportunities that could arise within the next 6 months, and then if they do not, then I should really be not spending most of my time streaming. Which, if I had an opportunity, then I would probably be forced to move my time simply due to working hours, and that's like, that seems okay for me. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I see a lot of people, welcome Rants. I don't know, do we want to get immediately down on ourselves? Are we gonna immediately start throwing a pity party? Like... In principle, I don't think individual viewers should sway it. Sure. I mostly agree. Except for the fact that, like, you know, the risk of changing... Like, the loss aversion is real, you know what I mean? It's like, if this time seems to be pretty good for people, and then I change it, it's like, okay, well, you know, loss aversion or something. I'll never pity you, uwu. Well, yeah, I don't know, I was scrolling Twitch because I am trying to figure out how to set up multi-streaming, which there is an OBS plugin for it that is supposedly pretty simple. The main thing it does is that because it is not handled by a server, you are handling 2 streaming outputs, which means your upload speed needs to be kind of big, or you can't stream to 2 things. That loss aversion will only ever grow as more people who can watch during this time slot come along. That is true. But I guess the idea would be that there's no guarantee that the people who are watching at this time slot literally cannot watch the other time slot. In this case, I know for a fact you cannot watch the other time slot. You know, which is a thing. But yeah, I was looking at Twitch. I was scrolling Twitch, and I was like, you know, there's a bunch of random people with, like, you know, 15 viewers. And I'm like, wow. That's impressive. So, I'm wondering if I get roasted for... if it's good or bad that I multi-stream, basically. And then I guess the other thing is that I need to consider how to grow without live streaming, which makes me want to not stream as much. Like if I genuinely want to prioritize some kind of growth, that I should consider not spending as much time live, because it is not as effective on YouTube. And also, like, arguably, I don't even know how effective that is on Twitch. Right, like, there were a bunch of one-viewer Andes playing Ender Magnolia, right? And there were a few people at, like, 80. Something like that. So, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just the brain worms. Just the brain worms. I think the main thing that I need to do now is I need to, like, put more time into... I want to invest more time into figuring out a pipeline for, like, clips and stuff. Because at one point in time when I was considering doing clips, I basically changed editing softwares from Adobe Premiere to DaVinci Resolve. Because Adobe can, you know, can go touch my flagpole. That's what they can do. So because I was changing over, I was like, okay, I want to have, like, another project to work on instead of, like, trying to figure out this thing with clips. Like, I just need to know how the software works, basically. Which then I started working on the Dustborn video, which, to be completely honest with you, probably makes more sense to, like, upload a clip that you edited instead of, like, being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, like, make this video essay in this software that I don't understand, right? Probably makes more sense to make a clip. But the point is that, like, I understand it a little bit better now, so that's good. I just need to... I'm hoping I can get a good pipeline for just being like, this is a stream bit. I'm gonna, like, minimal editing, just put this up. Because, sometimes clips just do well, right? Or, like, sometimes anything you upload to the video section that is not live streaming, like, can do well. Randomly. So, when I re-uploaded the stream, like, one of the Dustborn streams, because I wanted to cut out, like, the interview section of that stream, that randomly just got, like, 800 views. And it's like, okay, literally anything that you upload to the videos tab could randomly do well. So, I think if there is a clip that is showcasing kind of what the stream is about, you know, and it does well, that to me maybe seems like it would have more conversion, right? Whereas when I'm just live, you know, I don't necessarily think I'm, like, the most chaotic, hyper entertaining person all the time, like 100% of the time. You know, if there's something I can get into and talk about, I feel like that's when I like streaming the most. Is like reading chat's responses to things and like actually getting a chance to talk about stuff, which doesn't happen all the time, right? Like it kind of needs to come up and then you go like, oh, there was surprisingly a lot of stuff to talk about here, right? Or I guess the other things are just like enjoying games. Unfortunately, there are many people who enjoy games, and there's not really much much else aside from that. Yeah, which I was actually thinking in regard to this game that it's sort of like I'm a little sad that I'm not super compelled by a lot of the dialogue so far. It's like a little basic. Whereas, like, maybe what was very compelling about the first game was that, like, you're an uwu scared small bean who has, like, cool ghost dad protecting you, right? But in this game, it's kind of like, I don't remember anything. Well, that's fine. I want to save the automatons. Like, okay. I don't know. It hits a little different because Lilac can speak. And I guess a lot of the people that I've met haven't also, like, a lot of the people also haven't really, like, necessarily been super compelling. You still have some of the sad, right? There's still some, like, sad and tragic, right? Like with the random robot mini-boss who's like, I will carry this child back to the town. And then it's like, I don't know where he went. It's like, he probably, like, carried you back and then and then died, dude. Feels fucking bad, man. Yeah, there was the random attuner who gave us his bird. It's like, okay, I guess. Shackled Beast is like, yo, I came back from the expedition, and that shit sucked. Yo, these fumes are kind of dank. Right? Who else? Scythe Mommy is, like, fine. She's okay, I suppose. I felt like the old dog thing, like, I like that the dog got an upgrade. I don't know why it felt a little bit, like, rushed. It was kind of like you entered the area and it's like, oh, you must have family here. And then we met the big dog, and then we killed them, and they're like, carry on my legacy. It's like, okay, your legacy is carried on by the dog. I don't know. Do you feel like that could be a little bit more dramatic somehow? I think it's cool. Certainly riding on the dog is cool. I think running into Lars a number of times was kind of neat. Like, fighting them a number of times was neat. Also Lars being part of the expedition and being like, yo, we found you as a small baby, and damn, shit, whoops, I didn't mean to be attacking you, that's bad. That was a bad oopsie doopsie. So I don't know. But I think overall I've been enjoying the game. It's just, I feel like I haven't had any, like, crazy huge reactions to anything that has happened. Because it's all like, ah, damn. Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it. Alright. Let's get started. Let's do some stuff. The cool thing is that we just got a bunch of power-ups. So we got, like, more movement speed. We have, like, more jump height. Whoa! Whoa, 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 hold on a second. Wait, I think I couldn't do this before. I think I couldn't dash jump before. Wait, hold on a second. This one, right? Unequip this. Oh, I could always dash jump. Wait, when did I get that? I swear I couldn't necessarily do that before. Maybe I'm just crazy, dude. I was crazy once. Was the game updated? Maybe? Yeah, it always felt like I would pretty clearly not perform a dash jump. Because I would have known, because I love doing this. I would have been doing this all the time. Because I think we're on... Here, let me check the patch notes. Let me see. 1.0.3. Yeah, lowered attack stamina and resistance. Rat generator has lower HP. Combat puppets, whatever. These are all things. Platforms on the Crimson Forest allow for better shortcuts. Visual representation for general warp points. Lower the effectiveness of some skills of Lorna. Don't know who Lorna is yet. Brush up on some background visuals. Then there were bug fixes. Parry action, fixed parry, or fixed player collision size after parry actions that could stay bigger than normal for a few frames. Fixed parry actions that were not resetting airborne action count correctly. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Maybe I could have always, done a dash jump, and I just didn't notice, but it felt like I couldn't do that before. Maybe you get it after a certain ability. Or maybe I couldn't tell because the dash wasn't that fast, and now because it's a bit faster, I can tell. But yeah, we can go basically to... We can go to a bunch of different places now, I think. There's still stuff on this screen. We can explore around a little bit. There's maybe something in the top here. We can explore stuff up here. So I kind of want to go do all of these things. Let's do a little bit of walking around in this area, maybe? Actually, no. Okay, there's definitely a... We're definitely missing the grapple point thing, so that's probably what we need here. Oh, hey, buddy. Welcome, my savior. As you can see, I aspire to continue serving, now in the role of a gatekeeper. It is a shame, however, that the work is so mundane. It is not a posting that makes use of my qualifications, and... Oh, that mineral you're carrying. If I may, could I inspect it? Appears to be a fossilized form of the blight trapped within it. Most unfortunate, for it is otherwise a fine specimen. Isn't there anything we can do? Such specimens can be prone to chipping. It will need to be cut with the utmost care. Fortunately, this is a task I am uniquely qualified for. Cool. It has been long since I made use of my skills. I shall get to work right away. Behold, see how it glows. Oh. Huh. Wow, it's so vivid. There are likely many such magic articles to be found in the depths of the lower stratum, where the land of origin is said to lie. Should you require anything else, please let me know. I shall only be too happy to be of service. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, pal. Alrighty. So it was like an HP upgrade, I suppose, that we could have gotten at any point in time. Alright, let's see. Okay. We're already back in it. Let's go. Go to the top here. Anything up here? I guess that would have been a... I wonder if we need to just get rid of the... Like, I wonder if it says that the area isn't explored just because there's blackness on the screen. Oh, well, there appears to be some value here. Sweet. Okay, what else? There was the place over to the right here. Oh, and there's this entire tower thing. That might go somewhere. Oh, this is the Grand Lift, isn't it? And I just never put that together at all. Alright. Actually, do I need to run this? I don't, right? Ah, whatever. It's not that far. Oh, wait, can I? I'm wondering what happens when I wall hang with the... on the wolf. Like, can it go between those very easily? It can, okay. The reason why I was concerned was because the mantling is, like, mildly important. So now we might accidentally not climb the thing. Ah! The iframes were not powerful enough. I love the frickin' background effect in these games. I think it's like... I've been wanting to say it out loud a number of times, but I'm like, I don't actually know if that's the effect. But it's like a parallax effect, right? Where like the... Because the distances from this camera are different, like... The far background doesn't move as much in perspective. But the, like, very close background moves a little bit more. It's so cool, man. I did not have any such ability, I guess. Or, like, I haven't made a type of effect like that before. And I kind of wish I could. Very cool. There's stuff at the bottom there, and there's the thing at the top there. We're already here, so let's go down here. It's literally just a door I didn't go into. It's just a lore pickup. Warning, entry prohibited. Hazardous zone ahead occupied by homunculi, who have declared themselves enemies of Milius. Risk of mutants. Oh, did we know that? Huh. So they were just like, nah, screw you. We do our own thing. Oh, could I have gone up here the entire time? No. Okay. Sweet. I love wall jumping. Fills the SP gauge by 4% each time an enemy is defeated. What is the SP gauge? I guess this is something I don't have yet. Huh. Oops. There are more abilities to discover. There's so much stuff. I want to, like, go check that thing. Like, there's stuff over here. Let's go here first. Small PP gauge? What the fuck? What the hell? Why is that 100%? I was thinking, what if it was just small person gauge? Like, what makes more sense for Lilac? Right? Because she is a small person. That makes more sense. Ow. Unfortunately, that also means small person gauge probably also works for me. Unfortunately, as some people would say, oh, well, tiny. Ooh, tiny baby. Oh, I didn't check if the... I really wanted to check if this magicite mine is the same as the other place. because there's definitely another area that looks very like it, and I feel like the descent is like very, very, very similar. Like the screens are very similar. I wanted to check it. I forgot to. Oh. Was there even anything in here? Was I... It was literally just I had to explore it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, this place. Wait. Why can't I... Oh, come on. Oh. It was almost unmantleable. Okay. There's no way we can make it across, right? Like, that's not happening. I wonder if I can do a mantle here. Or, like, wall grab, I should say. Like that, and then jump from there. That seems doable. Right, up we go. I swear that's doable. It's definitely doable. But, like, should I jump? Yeah, like that. Okay. And then we can jump, dash, jump. Nice. Okay, sweet. It's a shame there's a grapple point here, so I'm assuming what we were supposed to do was use a grapple, but my gamer abilities are simply too strong for this game to handle. There's a bunch of unexplored stuff there. There's some stuff down here. We can't do this underwater yet, so we can't do that. Some stuff over here. Oh, because the blight is a question mark, we don't know what that is yet. The blight flower. So we can go up here and do this, maybe. And then there was still this place going downwards, so... did we want to do a different thing first? I want to do a little bit of clearing before we advance, so... We can't do this yet, because that's just like raw diagonals, which probably requires the grapple. And there's a bunch of stuff down here. Why is this grayed out? Maybe there's like a hidden thing here somewhere we haven't done yet. There's still some stuff over here. There's a lot. Let's start here, because I don't know what's here. Yeah, let's just check this thing. Weep, weep, weep. Ah, cool. Bork. Bork! We almost didn't make it. I wonder if this wouldn't have worked if I didn't have the movement speed increase. Poor guy. Ah. Okay. So we got that. Can't do that. That's the... This is the city. There's stuff down here. I think we can get this thing. Because this is a diagonal, I'm pretty sure that means we can't do this thing. So there's grapple points here. I don't really know what the purpose of them are, though. And I like... Dash. It's it seems like there's something here. In that little space there. I don't know, maybe this is just for convenience, so you don't have to deal with all these platforms. Definitely would have worked without it if you jumped right at the edge and used your double jump. Yeah, like with it just a slight delay. Probably would have worked. So this is definitely a grapple gate. Because, right, I'm assuming. Unless I can... Okay, so have you tried the Dungeon Fighter Berserker demo? Game seems like it'll be fun. Oh, like the... What's it called? It's like Kazan the First Berserker or something. I have not tried the demo. I'm not super involved, I think, in the... Or invested in the alternate property stuff. I guess it's so funny because actually the gacha game is like... I'm like, man... I was like, not my wallet. No. No, I have to pull for all of the characters I like. Oh, no. I don't, but... No, can't grab that. To pull for all the characters I like. But I'm not playing another gacha. That's not... I'm not intending on doing that. Yeah, so I couldn't get up there before, but now I can do this and grab the wall. But have you played the... Kazan demo? Uses material obtained from breaking objects. That's kind of cool. Don't need it, but it's cool. Yeah, have you played it? Like, I like Souls-likes. I also don't mind, it's a shame. Like, they did Kazan. Like, I get it, but... Roxy's way cooler. It was fun, very Dark Souls-like. Were there any unique mechanics? Or was it literally just, you know, like... Was it just, like, Dark Souls? Because I always wonder about the slight differences that they make for those kinds of games, because you could definitely just make Dark Souls. I think we talked about this last time. Like, you can definitely just make Dark Souls and be like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Look at how good this is. But I suppose that requires some degree of mastery of making good encounters and stuff, right? Like, just making sure all the timings are tuned in a way that the game, like, not the game. I guess, yeah, the game is playable by, you know, enough people who are invested in the genre. Because certainly if you just made every attack like a snap or something, it just, like, gets really annoying. It reminded me more of Sekiro than a traditional, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it was a bit faster. Do you have, like, parrying and stuff? Like, it focuses more on parrying? Because that was Sekiro's big thing, right? Which I haven't played Sekiro, just for the record, but... I don't know why, honestly. It seems like a good thing to do. This is... Oh, this was maybe progress. Do I want to do the other places first? Can't do everything there. There's a bunch of stuff in the mine, but we were just there. We'll do the rest of the mine later. I'm going to assume that the gates here are probably locked by a power-up that's, like, not the thing I just got. So... More about pairing, just has a little more action game in it. I see. Yeah, I think it's interesting because, like... I wonder about... Like, if you can only parry, for example, right? To me, that kind of speaks to... Well, then make it so that, like, the windows are a little more accessible. right? Or a little more obvious. Or, like, then you have to think about, well, what's the range of, you know, attacks that can be parried, right? Like, you probably want to have a spectrum of attacks that are parryable or dodgeable. Whereas in a game like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, you could just make it so that there's a boss that's particularly good against parrying, and then be like, yeah, I mean, you know, it's fine. Like, try parrying if you want to, but it's a little risky. You don't need to... Like, you don't need to have a parryable attack. Whereas I feel like if parrying is your main thing... Trash dump for the... Whatever comes here, unless they're Levy. Oh, were we gonna find Levy down here? The Levy comes down here. I like this dung beetle thing. It's very funny. Okay, so the thing that... yeah, I feel like... So if you have to parry, right? Like, if that's the only defensive option you have... It feels like you would want to give boss attacks that are clearly parryable. Like, something that it makes sense to parry this thing. Not with low risk, but maybe lower risk. So, like, maybe a jab attack that's a little more telegraphed. So, less risk for going for it. Oh my god! Less risk. Yeah, I felt like I had something else to say, but it genuinely just... Here's an attack that's less risk, you can parry it. It makes sense to parry it. Like, in... I haven't played Sekiro, so you'll have to help fill in the gaps. Sorry, I'm just... Hold on a second. In Sekiro, there are boss attacks that are kind of like chip damagey, right? Like ones that are more like a string of jabs. Like 2 or 3 fast attacks that do like a combo. But if you parry the first one, it probably interrupts it. Am I completely off base? I actually don't know. Might be like Liza P, where parrying is the intended defensive action, but it is reasonable to beat the game without it. Yeah, so it's fascinating to me, I guess, is what I'm saying. Is that, like, you would think of something like a dodge, right? And I think someone who is less keen, or maybe is just like, oh, well, I'm just going to make Dark Souls, which there's nothing wrong with that. You generally want to parry all attacks in Sekiro, and they don't interrupt the enemies. Okay, that makes sense. So, if there is a string of 3 attacks, it is like... It makes sense to me to want to string a few parries, like, rhythmically together. Like, it's like a pattern that you can learn, right? Or if it's like quick, quick, delay, or like quick, quick, quick. Like, these are things that you can kind of look out for and be aware of. Yeah, only if you break their stance. Okay, so that makes sense. Whereas, like, for me, that it makes sense to make a string of attacks like that or a flurry like that, so that you can learn the entire sequence and then parry them. Whereas having very clear flurries in a game that you can block, to me, doesn't make as much sense, because that would just make blocking very, very effective. Right? It's like, why would I try parrying these? I guess that doesn't make as much sense with the other stuff that I was saying, but like, basically you can consider how you want to design an encounter based on what defensive options you know the player has. And then you can shape your answers around that, or your boss encounters around what answers the players have, which is actually why Millennia... Am I remembering that correctly? Millennia, Blade of Mikola. Why that boss is so strange to me, because they basically just said you aren't allowed to defend in a game where you theoretically have blocking as a very... you have blocking as a defensive option that is, like, not punished. Like, maybe the answer changes a little bit, but in that boss, it's literally like, alright, good luck blocking, loser. Like, it's probably not gonna work. But yeah, like in this game, I really appreciate, or one of the bosses that made me appreciate it, I should say. Because there was a boss in Ender Lilies that had very snappy attacks. Like, all the attacks were very, very fast. And basically, you really had to take advantage of the dodging system in this game. Because all of the attacks were very fast. But the reason why I didn't think it was super unfair was because your iframes in this game are very, very generous. So it's like, oh, because the iframes are very generous, you can just you can simply opt to dash a little bit earlier than maybe you think, and you'll be okay. So the same thing with a game like Dark Souls. I feel like there are a lot of snaps in Dark Souls. Like snappy boss attacks. There's flurries as well. But I think realistically, I wanted to read the effect and the lore. It's my bad. I will read it. But because the attacks are very snappy, like there's a charge and then there's a snap, it's hard to react to the snap itself because of how fast it is. So you have to read it a little bit, but because there's a long stretch of which you are invulnerable, the snap isn't actually that bad. You just need to like dodge a little earlier than maybe you're comfortable, and it's probably fine. Whereas in a game that has low iframes like Monster Hunter, I feel like what I see is that there are less snap attacks. Like, they're very evenly telegraphed, and the like the active hits for the attacks are obvious, right? Like the attacks that I think of that snap are like Rathian tail flip. Like certain, I think like G rank Rathian can have very, very fast instant tail flips, but they're in the air. So that's like a little telegraphed to begin with. I guess what I mean to say is that like because Monster Hunter has less iframes, I feel like it doesn't rely on making snappy boss attacks because they know you don't inherently have the ability to just iframe through things. So they don't rely on snaps. They don't rely on charges and snaps as much as like a mainstay. Movement is usually very good in these games as they're much more faster paced, so move faster pairing just gives you a huge reward. Yeah, I know in Monster Hunter moving is more effective. Well, not more effective. Like obviously if you're a Giga Chad and you can iframe through things, then there's that. But oh yeah, the other thing that I noticed was in Rise. In Monster Hunter Rise, I felt like basically every weapon has the ability to have access to an instant iframe, like a very strong instant iframe. So there are a lot more snaps in that game. Like I felt like Magnolia in Rise like had a lot of snaps, which like they had a lot of charge and snap attacks. And I was like, oh, probably the reason this is the case is because I have access to an instant speed iframe. However, you like change the dynamic a little bit because no healing items. You change the dynamic a little bit because well now that the player has access to instant iframes that are reliable, well now we're gonna give you abilities that can kind of counter the instant iframes. Like in this game, there was the back hop. There was the enemies with the back hop. So like this iframe is really long and effective, but that one enemy can just like back hop it, and not get roasted by the initial spin. Letter in a bottle. Lord Motley, how long has it been since you went missing? Rumor has it, after Lord Kane's death. Kane? Yours followed shortly after. Nonetheless, we reject Declan as our new lord and anxiously await word of your return. May this letter find you or someone that knows of your whereabouts. I have no idea what that means. I got no freaking clue. Yeah, I also think things like flashing lights, like this game makes use of flashing lights, but that's because a lot of the attacks are snappy, so they give you an indicator instead of a wide active hitbox. Imagine being named Bottle. You should do more iframes when playing Metaphor. What the fuck? I can't. I'm literally incapable of it. The game doesn't... I fell onto that. What the fuck? Oh, it's corrosive. I didn't notice. I didn't fall onto something. It was just corrosive. Welcome, Bullet. That screen is so big. Imagine if they did something like that in the Elden Ring DLC too. That'd be crazy. It isn't as bad, but as a sword and board user, it was bad. Yeah, it's like blocking... It's weird when you go, this is a defensive option in the game, and theoretically someone could have been playing the entire game with that defensive option, and then you just go like, haha, you can't use that anymore, Lamau. Kind of weird. If there's a will, there's a way. Well, there isn't a will. There's only a Bottom Lad. His name's Bottom Lad. Ooh. I literally did the thing where I'm just in the way. I was literally in the way. Is there a bench down there? Holy shit, all of that was without a bench. That's insane. I guess it was only a couple screens, that's fine. It's like kind of far away though. Millennia is hot, so it's okay. Unbelievable. Oh. Wait. That didn't hit me. Didn't trigger the... Ah. That was weird. That's not to say I stopped using a shield, I only used it more. Swapped from a shield to a spear, or a sword to a spear so I could do the shield poke attack to never drop my guard. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, again, I don't think it's necessarily a problem to have bad matchups, right? Like, there are certainly bad matchups in Monster Hunter, right? It's okay to have bad matchups. But I think as a general rule of thumb, it can be good to include ways for players to use their abilities in order to solve the game. Like, forcing someone to learn something very different from what they're used to can be kind of tough. Sort of your prerogative, I guess, if you believe it should be like no, as a Souls-like player, or if you're playing late game Elden Ring, you simply need to know how to dodge. I think an interesting way that this presents itself is with flurry attacks. So if you're a shield user with flurry attacks, like, you can't necessarily block everything most of the time, right? So being like, okay, well, if we can anticipate that they have this much stamina, right? Like, we're going to offer them... Oh, I had the revival sphere save me. We can anticipate that they have this much stamina, maybe with these abilities, or if they have this. Like, what... I'm going to make an attack, and I'm going to assume that the player has, like... Or not the player has, but this is a, like, 120 stamina attack. Which means that if they are a shield build and they have this ring, they can actually block the entire flurry, but maybe, like, they can't block the entire flurry, or they need to dodge the last attack, or maybe, like, dodge the first attack and then block. It's like these different patterns that you need to learn as a shield user. I think those are okay to, like, force you to do maybe, like, one dodge or something like that. I don't know. Being a grappler versus a zoner is a pain. Let me hug you. Grapplers deserve it always. Yeah. It is funny to me a little bit how... Because, like, I played basically the parallel that I have is I played Brawler in Dungeon Fighter PvP a long time ago. And like, I think it's fine to acknowledge when your strategy has some downsides, right? Like, I don't think people... I think it should be okay to be like, oh, I'm doing a shield build, but like they get a little bit of life back when I block, so maybe I should consider dodging more. I feel like the way Millennial is tuned is unfortunately like very against blocking, so it's hard to do purely blocking. Like, I don't know, man. Which there are contingencies. You can always like make a summon. The summon's like not that good because they heal off the summon. Whatever. The point is you need to have a breadth of options that aren't just dodge, because some people will shit themselves. For grapplers though, it's fine to have downsides, you know? Right? It's like, well, I unfortunately have bad matchups against zoners. The reason why I mentioned Brawler for a Dungeon Fighter is that like the approach game on Brawler is not good. Like, F-Brawlers do not have a good way of getting in, so they kind of parallel grapplers. So the zoners in that game kind of shit on my face. Because, like, the gunner classes, so they were the range classes, primarily better at zoning, right? They have this skill called Gun Guard. Also, Slayers have access to Guard. So Gun Guard allows you to block ranged attacks. The main approach option for F-Brawler was Seismic Punch, which the Shockwave part of Seismic Punch is considered a range attack. So, basically, both male and female Ranger had access to Gun Guard or Topspin in response to Seismic Punch. So, because they always had two options to basically perfectly parry my main approach option, it was, like, really bad. Like, it's like, okay, well, zoner matchup, I guess I'm screwed. However, versus every other matchup, it's like, okay, well, I Seismic Punched you once. Here's this Touch of Death combo. Welcome to the Bone Zone. So... I don't mind that they have certain attacks that require a dodge, but when the hardest boss hits for 25% through shields with every attack, it gets bad. Yeah, 100%. This is why I'm saying, like, probably good to have it be, you know, like, how much can you tune the difficulty, right? I think is an important question. And the thing that I like considering when looking at all of these things is, like, your first question is, like, how do the defensive options in your game even work, right? Like, if we want people to primarily parry, how does that inform our decisions for how we want the bosses to work, right? Like, I would feel maybe less comfortable putting blocking in a game that primarily facilitates flurries, right? And I think, additionally, if I were to make flurry attacks in a game where you can only parry, I'd want to have, like... I would want to find heuristics, actually, for what people feel comfortable doing. That's probably, like, a good one to know. But I imagine it's something like 2 or 3 flurry patterns that are, like, maybe not too different from each other. With, like, maybe one of them having a mix-up that sets you behind if you don't react to it. So you could have, like a double fast flurry. Like, bop bop, and then it's either bop 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 or it's like bop bop delay, right? So there's like a little bit of a mix there, and then something that's like bop delay, and then that's like 2 distinct parry patterns that you can be aware of. And then I don't actually know what the heuristic is. I'd be curious to know how many different boss patterns that are genuinely quite unique from each other that each boss has in something like Sekiro. That would be something worth like looking into. Because I think in something like Monster Hunter, like, I kind of joked about these when I played Monster Hunter 1, but it's like, what is the best strategy to fight a Rathalos? Well, you just stand between its legs, because all of its like, it is the safe zone. You just stand there and attack it. To be fair, you might not do as much damage, but anyways. We were thrown out, but I have lots of work. I'm happy. Cute spider bot. I love this thing. Just so cute. I'm cleaning. Please stand back. You guys are the best. I love Spiderbot. We love Spiderbot here. At least when I play Liza P without pairing, it's fine. If a boss has some dumb attack because I'm playing the game wrong, not that I knew it was wrong when playing. Yeah, it's like... Generally, you want to have multiple options. Which is why I was actually very impressed with the... I was surprisingly impressed with the design of... with the design of the Armored Core fights. Because my friend... I really like Armored Core, so I watched my friend do their playthrough of Armored Core. They were a tetrapod user, and I was actually very surprised to find out how possible it was, basically, to dodge boss attacks by doing a low hover. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting that you can low hover. This is cool. That you can... Oh, I need to, like, go into the thing. Okay. How you can, like, low hover to dodge certain boss attacks. It's, like, facilitating multiple gameplay styles. Well, that's kind of funny. Whereas... Increases damage dealt to enemies inflicted by status effects by 15%. Cool. That could make the fire parry better. I think we want to hit that thing over there. And then I think trying to think of what the extended capabilities of someone picking a particular defensive option are is interesting. So someone who dodges a flurry needs to know that there is a delay at the end of a chain, whereas someone who is defending and then also like dealing with a flurry like might need to know to dodge at the very end, something like that. Those are all very interesting. Very cool. Games are cool. I like games. In between the legs, we need to make sure the design has no babies even if you fail. Very heroic flower. What the fuck? Just because I want to get between Arathalos' legs doesn't mean you have to call me out for it! Does not mean you need to call me out for it. Oh, you know what's really funny? The character that I was... It's like, man, I feel like sometimes I need to just not... Like, I need to turn the degen off, and I feel really bad because the degen is turned on, and I'm turned on. But, so... one of my RPGs was yesterday, and my character... kind of what I've gathered about her personality based on my reactions to the situations, which this isn't always the case, right? But basically the first thing that character did was say that a food source was safe, and then the party leader was like, no, it is not safe, we are going to leave. Right? So that character is kind of like a... Like, they have a higher int score. So the way that I would describe them is they're like an over-intellectualized Redditor who's like, these stupid idiots, I'm surrounded by idiots, they don't believe me. And I think the funniest personality trait that just got added to her is that you don't pick languages in that game at the start. It's basically like, well, you might understand what this language is. Do you want to say that you know this language? I don't know if that's how every game does it. I don't typically play in settings that care about what languages you speak. Usually, because it's usually circumvented by like some kind of understand language spell or something. But in this game, it was like, this scroll is written in Draconic, and I'm like, oh yeah, this character is a Draconic weeb for sure, right? Like, she thinks studying Draconic is like cool, and like requires a lot of intelligence to study. Like, people who care about reading Draconic are all smart and cool people. And then I was like, I was like, yeah, because there are definitely stories about elves that like dragons a lot. And then there was like an awkward silence, and I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but like, I have to say that I'm sorry. And she wants to go to Honorable Drachan. She wants to the dragon. Do not the dragon. More like do the dragon. Dude, I swear I'm not a scaly. I'm not. See, you probably won't believe me, but I'm required to say that I'm not a scaly. Yeah, let's forget about the fact that I don't want to point things out and be like, guys, I swear I'm not a scaly. It's so bad, dude. Because I'm not. I'm not. Drapon, mixed up Nihon and Nippon. Listen, all I'm saying is that at some point in the game, maybe Flaris pacted with a dragon. So I have this cool scale mail bodysuit thing. Cool armor thingy-majig. It's definitely not what I was thinking with that. But not a scaly. Definitely not. If you zoom in close enough to the... what is this even called? I remember at the time I was like, yo, this is the coolest shit ever. But now every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't know. It's like I guess bodysuit is the term, right? Is it not? Upper bodysuit, it kind of like goes up to my neck. I can't tell. Can I rotate far enough to show the... Actually, don't think I literally don't think I can. That's funny. But under the neck, there is a part that it cuts off and becomes skin color again. Not a scaly. Not a furry either. Totally, 100%. Please believe me. That reminds me, there was a... What was that? There was an incident. This is so bizarre to me. Like, I understand. Like, maybe I don't understand. There are people who, like, really, really dislike furries. I'm a little neutral. Like, it doesn't... You know, I think there are many humanoid enough furries or scalies that exist that I'm like, okay, man, like, whatever. Like, you can go... If you want your... if you want your daddy character to have extra scales on them, like, I could understand why you want that. Like, sure. Sure, man. You're a filthy normie. You must like vanilla. I mean, that's the thing, right? So, I understand it. But I feel like there are people who are like, they're very angry that, like, furries exist. I recall the time when Mori, like, Calliope Mori, was like, oh yeah, I mean, like, if I had a persona, maybe it would be a ring-tailed lemur, I think, was what she said. Because she didn't know that persona, like, was, like, very specifically meant, like, as a furry term. I think it was more like, oh, what animal do you think is cool that, like, maybe you relate to, right? So, like, for me, I would say something like a wolf, right? Which is, like, kind of that's the generic answer. Like, I don't think that's particularly a spicy pick. But people who feel like they're very not self-sufficient, but, like, they feel like they need to rely on themselves, kind of the lone wolf thing. So I would say something like wolf. I don't know. Right? But there's not a whole lot to it. When Mori said that... Woof! When Mori said that, apparently she lost like 10,000 followers on Twitter or something. That's crazy! That is crazy! Wolves travel in little bitch packs? Yeah, that's fair. I meant more like lone wolf, right? lone wolf aesthetic. The thing is, if I had to think about it more, let me think. Maybe I'd be some kind of like annoying bird or something like that. Who knows? Like angels are cool, so like, you know, like angel person, right? So angels are cool, bird wings are cool. Duck? What the fuck, man? I'm more majestic than a duck. I gotta be. Woodpecker? Damn. See, like, that's clever. I really appreciate your creativity, but I don't want to acknowledge it. I don't want to acknowledge. What if I am a woodpecker, huh? You got a problem with me pecking at wood every once in a while? What's the issue with that, huh? What is a woodpecker? A woodpecker is a type of bird that I believe the way that they hunt is that they peck into pieces of wood to try and get like worms and stuff. Is that correct? I'm not a bird person. Let me see. Why do woodpeckers peck wood? Usually they are drilling into wood to find something to eat, such as larvae, tree sap, insects that are trapped within the sap, or ants or beetles inside the tree bark. Yeah, so it's like, that's really cool. Woodpeckers are cool. Yeah. Well, like for food and stuff. How much wood could a woodpecker peck if a woodpecker could peck wood? Well, a woodpeck could, and the woodpeck could with a could peck woodpeck wood. There we go. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. There are people who really don't like... My point is there are people who really don't like scalies and furries, and I don't know. I find it funny that people are mad. Like, very mad about things that likely don't matter that much. Which you could say, it's like, well, why does anyone care about anything that anyone cares about? I'm like, yeah, you know what, you're right. Like, I understand. You can care about whatever you want. There aren't any problems with caring about things, right? Or making calculations in your brain, or predicting, or coming to conclusions about things. Like, I get it. It's just kind of like, man, like, what did the bulgy wolgy guy do to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just being cringe in their own corner. You know? I don't know, man. I am not going to acknowledge that I might be a rabbit. I'm going to make I'm gonna not say anything. Did you know rabbits can die of loneliness? Is that's a real thing, right? Me when I spread misinformation on the internet. Can rabbits die of loneliness? Apparently they might be able to. Stress can kill a rabbit. The rabbit could become depressed and not eat. That's sad. It is sad. So basically what I'm saying is, give me attention, please, or I will die. That's what I'm saying. I need attention. I need attention. I'm lonely. Please pay attention to me. Give me... That's what I was going to ask for. I was going to say, please give me head pats. I need attention. Pay attention to me. Give me your... I was going to say effort, or I don't know, love and affection. I'm asking for it right now. Give me love and affection right now. Do it now. Now. I want it now. How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes. Got nowhere to run. Life goes on. Hopefully I got the next line right. Otherwise, that'd be really embarrassing. Bunny suit flares. I have done 2 bunny suit pictures. I'm wondering if I should make one. right? I feel like people wouldn't be... I feel like unless I kept the bottom half of myself on screen, no one would be interested. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not... There's not much to appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like bunny suits are for the people who want to appreciate, you know... They're trying to appreciate something. Same with the swimsuit idea. I don't know, man. Okay, I think I didn't read these. A pendant belonging to a cleaner stationed at the final disposal site, where garbage from the upper and lower stratums is discarded. The homunculi tasked with cleaning duties often find themselves assailed by the constant shower of falling detritus. Detritus. And have developed abnormalities as a result. Oh. Detritus. I think my GM used detritus like literally a couple weeks ago, and I have never heard the word before except for today. Detritus. You look like someone? I believe you. I'm basically a saber face, and I don't try to hide it. People are like, yeah, you're just discount saber, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I definitely think I look like discount saber. Hey, Flower, how's steaming? I can confirm that I am getting steamed right now. How's steamed hams? What's going on back there? Is that the Northern Lights? Oh, I'm steaming hams. There's steamed hams. Well, we were talking about how people don't like furries and how I have a bodysuit scale mail, but I'm not a scaly. I would like to confirm for anyone who is unsure in the audience, I am not a scaly. Despite the fact that I am wearing scale mail and possibly part of the lore of the timeline where I had to save the world, I did maybe potentially pact with a dragon. Potentially. It's possible that happened. I'm not going to describe that to you if you don't know. It's someone who really likes characters with scales. Flower's a furry / scaly. Listen, there's nothing I can say that will convince you. All I can say is that I'm not. All I can say. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just feel like there is something very, very attractive about, I think, like, skin-tight body suits under clothing. I don't know what to tell you, but I just kind of... I don't know, man. There were other versions of this character design where, like, the scale kind of cut off halfway down the bicep, and there's, like, a little bit of bicep squish there. Big fan, but... I don't know, am I crazy? Am I crazy for being like, yo, here's this bodysuit thing? Like, underneath the breastplate and the dress, there's like something that is like right against the skin, you know? Am I crazy? Like I feel like I'm saying things out loud and it's like, you deserve to be bonked. Please stop talking. But like, I don't know, man. I'm just saying there's something like right against the skin. It's how clothes tend to work. No, but like, it's not loose, right? Like, I'm wearing a t-shirt right now. T-shirts are like loose, right? They're not like right against the skin. Let us stare at you judgingly. Ah, shit. You know, I thought it was supposed to be chat reflects the streamer, but, you know, I guess I was wrong in this case. I'm going to not go on about about the skin tight scale mail that's right against the skin. I don't know, man. Claws that once belonged to a homunculus. Declan surrounded himself with a homunculi most pleasing to his eye. It is said that they provided him with both company and protection. Why are you guys mean to him? It's funny. Yeah, I think it's I think the reason they do it is because it's actually hilarious. Bodysuits are nice, but it's not weird. Yeah, that's fair. I appreciate you validating my... validating what I am saying. It's the law. I think it is the law to bully me. Earrings worn by the central the central stratum attuners. It is said that frost attuners were forced to move to the central stratum after the lower stratum territories were taken from them. Oh, interesting. Okay. An arcane instrument created by House Frost in ancient times. The eye sealed within is said to have been extracted from a beast dwelling in the Crimson Forest, and reacts to magic. Originally conceived as part of a research effort, it was deemed unethical by the Sorcerer's Village and subsequently disposed of. Interesting. I suspect a number of homunculi have been disposed of at the final disposal site. Thinking of the homunculus graveyard? Is that even real? Don't the recycling homunculi dismantle and recycle everything down here? They don't appear to be functioning as intended at present. It ain't just a disposal site that sees a shower of trash from the upper and central stratums. Folks in the lower stratum are used to having trash rain down all the time. Ain't right, the way they treat both homunculi and other humans. Cool. Is there anything cool I can get? Can I upgrade these? The fact that I can't get people to, like, level 2 of any of their things makes me kind of sad. Oh, I can get this to level 2. I'm gonna do that. Let's go. Blazing Fist level 3. Sweet. Did that change how it looks at all? No, I think it looks the same. Oh, this looks like a boss room. Okay. Ooh. Gross. Can I, like, walk to the other side? No. Okay. How I... It's like, how do I want to deal with this? It is starting to look like the couch meme. How dare you? Lilac is a very classy and wholesome bean. You shut your face. You finally got smashed. What the fuck? Man, it's like... Okay, well, I literally dashed into that. Huh. I didn't think this would be so difficult. What was the bug that rolls trash? Yeah, it's a dung beetle. This is basically a dung beetle. Maybe parrying that is a good idea. He didn't kill you, you killed yourself? I mean, listen, I just... Surprisingly, I don't know why my brain can't figure out what I should be doing here, but I really don't know. I don't know where my openings are. I feel like I want to parry the big smash attack. Or get out of the way. Yeah, like that. But then the spin is, like, not something that I can really deal with easily. I can do that. Oh, getting to the other side is very difficult. I guess generally I just don't want to be where the ball is unless I just countered it like this. And then I want to get out of the way. Makes sense to me. You can also use the big parry for that. Small parry. Okay, I think we figured it out. We've downloaded the patterns. Okay. It was just tripping me up how dangerous the danger zone of the smash was. Yeah, okay. I just had to download the thing, you know what I mean? Don't live in shit, great strat. Help me! Did the garbage just talk? Me. What an awful thing to say, even if it isn't entirely untrue. If you don't mind, can you help me out of here? Who the frick? Who's stuck in the poopy? Thank you for saving me. I'm Yarrow and a tuner. What the fuck? What are you doing inside that ball of garbage? The magic supply system in the lower stratum is broken, which means the central stratum is inaccessible. Came down here to try and find a solution, but, well, you saw what happened. What did you have in mind? We're trying to reach the central stratum too. We see. Would you be willing to help repair the magic supply system then? Oh, he's a little dork. Up ahead, there's a giant bug-like homunculus whose core is fused with the supply system. Well, I'm no good with bugs, so... Surprised you made it this far. Thought I'd get over it, but just the size of that thing. I don't deserve to be in a tuner. Maybe this pile of garbage is where I belong. Damn! So fucking real! So real. Honestly, I feel that, gamer. I believe this pile of garbage is my home. It just is what it is. Leave it to us. We'll take care of it. If you could. Damn. New model core. Oh, cool. Is that something I can... Her flower persona is Trash Panda! Yes. I mean, like, I don't mind being drawn as any of these things. Just make me a trash panda. Make me a cat. A bird. I don't care. A scaly, I guess. What do I even look like as a scaly? You know what actually is kind of funny? Because I have an artist friend who, you know, acquaintance, I would say. I don't really know them that well. I was actually considering, like, oh, I wonder if I get a personal commission from this person where, like, they draw me as a scaly. Just because I'd be interested to see what they do, right? And, like, the concept doesn't, like, horrendously bother me, right? But I did not end up doing that because I felt, like, maybe too self-conscious. Being like, hey, look at this thing. Don't look it up, by the way, please. Look at this character design. Please don't look into it. Kind of want to try this because it looks really cool. It doesn't really look like we need it for anything. Let's equip abilities. This one. Alrighty. Time to go deal with big homunculus. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. That was very scary. I did not like that. Is a bugging problem for them? It is. It is. They don't know what to do about it. Oh, maybe I can go down here. Try going down first. Oh, this is a lot of damage, and I'm dying. Try going really fast. There's no way, right? There's a thing there. Holy moly. Well, there was like a thing over there. So I'd rather get the thing than like go to the next area. Let's get this. Charmed fragment. Can I see what's in this bottom corner? No, it's blue. Let's see if we die. Okay. Right, I forgot I had the thing. Useful. Damn, I weaved through that. There's a speech. Could probably be a Draco Tanioperus or some other lizard in the Draco genus. Whenever you say Draco genus, Draco, I think of waste level exceeded, unable to process. There was too much shitpost. You couldn't deal with it. I just think of like Masterpiece from Yu-Gi-Oh! Draco Masterpiece, something rather. Yeah, not Niv Mizzet, not the Draco Genius. Holy, big sneeze. Yeah. Yeah, Draco Genius would require me to be, like, relatively somewhat kind of smart, and I don't think I... As much as I want to claim I'm an Izzet mage, I think I'm not quite big enough brain. Ow. It's a genus of small, flying, while gliding lizards. I feel like I should be insulted that you're saying that I'm small. However, it probably does fit. I believe it. I was hoping to be like a fluffy type of lizard. Frickin' blighted water. But you are small, you're just in denial. But the thing is, like, being in denial would require me to, like, you know, be wrong. The thing is, I'm just not small. I think you are all in denial because you don't want to accept the fact that being... Oh, the thing didn't trigger because I was already below the HP. That's really funny. See, I feel like you're all in denial because I'm telling you that I'm, like, relatively normal-sized. Right? Being 5'3" is not a problem. But then you're like, oh, no, but 5'3" is actually very small. Like, oh, tiny. Right? I am not in denial. You have it wrong. Get it twisted. I'm not in denial. You're all just refusing to admit that you're wrong. You're the one calling it a problem. I mean, what? Just because I'm insulted? That the reason I'm insulted is not because I feel like being small is a problem necessarily. It's that I'm not small. Right? Like, I'm not... Oh my goodness. The freaking Gat Spider is like... Holy shit. I'm just gonna go the other way. I feel like we're gonna be able to clear out the blight water or something, and then But... I'm so curious, though! I'm so curious! You probably clear out the blight first. Yeah, exactly. I'm average or mediocre height. Exactly, Unicorn. Right? Don't get it twisted. I just want the representation of reality to be accurate. You know what I'm saying? It's like that person who is like, no, I honor the Japanese, I am true Nippon steel big truth. You know? I'm just saying it how it is. It doesn't matter to me whether you feel like you lied or didn't lie in order to get an advantage in Elder Dragon Highlander. Like, that doesn't matter to me. I just care if you're like saying it how it is. Right? I am of utmost honesty and truth. The true Nippon. That shit was wild to me. See, listen, I would agree with you if I was something like... If I was like 4'6", I would agree. Because that is actually, on average, like relatively small. But the thing is, I'm not. I am Axiom. Yeah. Clara has a PhD in keeping it real 100%. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I just believe in keeping it 100%. Right? Yeah, like, I wasn't sure how much I wanted to get into it, but, you know, one thing that I feel like I spent more time than I should have this morning was, like, I'm trying to make new rules for Kingdoms so that it is a playable game mode in my playgroup. Part of the context for this is that, like, we awkwardly have, like, 5 people in the playgroup, so we are more likely to play Kingdoms more often in probably the next number of years moving forward. So having established and good rules for it, I think, is something that I wanted to invest my time in. So I was trying to come up with new rules, and I feel like the design thing that I ran into is that in Magic you can make, like, infinite combos, right? However, I feel like the existence of infinite combos kind of undermines the social dynamic of Kingdoms. And, like, I already try to limit my decks at least a little bit so that they don't... Like, they will have finite combos that are interruptible, because I feel like infinites are too overwhelming and heavily streamline how you play a deck, right? So that's generally how my playgroup plays. We are fine with games ending via enough. Like, having an overwhelming advantage is completely reasonable. Generally, we do not play infinites. Or the purpose of the deck is not to infinite, or we don't play a lot of tutors, right? Like, generally the decks are not optimized for infinites. Because all of us are relatively competent Magic players, and, like, we have already seen the horizon of tutoring for Crater of Behemoth. No one cares. Right? So Kingdoms is a bit of an interesting game mode because it gives you an excuse to basically play two-headed giant. If you believe 2 hidden roles are actually working together, then you can kind of, like, play two-headed giant. You can commit some of your resources to helping this other player dramatically. And the problem that I was running into was basically infinites allow a deck of singular high power to ignore the rest of the game mechanics and just say, like, I'm gonna combo off and win the game. Oh my goodness. Which, in my opinion, like, my playgroup has already solved this problem. Like, it's not a... Like, playing 4v1 infinites is, like, not much different from playing 3v1 infinites, because usually it is covered by some kind of Grand Abolisher or Teferi effect, or some way that your opponents would not be able to interact with it, regardless of if there is one more player at the table. So the problem I ran into was, like, if you can simply infinite to win the game, like, the interesting part of Kingdoms falls apart. So I suggested to, not my playgroup, but some people who I respect their opinion of, that, like, what if we just cut infinites from this game mode for the purposes of keeping the social aspect of the game alive? And both of them were like, this is a bad idea, do not remove infinites because you're invalidating gameplay styles. And I was like, can you see how this gameplay style is invalidating the social aspect of the game and how removing it could improve the gameplay style? And basically what I was hit with was like, but you're invalidating my gameplay style, how dare you? And I was like, man, this was not the response I was expecting. And I was a little upset about it, so I defended the design decision a little bit, you know, and I felt like, it's not like I think that the, like, invalidating, like, a particular gameplay style is, like, good. So, for example, like, what do you do in conditions of, like, mill? Like, how do you truly define an infinite combo? If, like, if you can only make 400 mana via, like, non-infinite means, like, is that fine? Right, so I had a secondary step where I was like, okay, well, maybe in a turn cycle, it's a 5-player game mode. In a turn cycle, you can only eliminate 2 players, which basically forces you to pick who your ally is and 1 opposition member. So I thought this was a good idea. However, there were certainly some problems with it. And then I kind of got into the weeds on, like, well, there was another thing we were thinking of, like, for the game mode and, you know, some other potential rules. And again, the actual discussions of these things are relatively fine. But, you know, there was more kinks to figure out than I anticipated. But the thing that was frustrating me is that, like, one of the people, like, is really, really, like, they are really, really dead set on basically saying that one of the roles is bad. So there are 5 roles in Kingdoms, to explain. And normally in an EDH game of Magic, it's like 4 people free for all. So that's why this game mode is different. The roles, one of them is not hidden, and then 4 of them are hidden. The king role is not hidden. There are 2 bandits which are hidden, and there's the knight and the assassin. So my one friend is, like, very, like, obstinate in saying that the bandit role is disadvantaged because their single goal is to defeat the king, which both the king and 2 other players are going to try and stop because the knight and the assassin require the king to be alive. So you could observe this and say that the bandits are on a 2v3, which is kind of unfair, right? Like, there's a bit of, you could say that it is difficult for the bandits because they need to deal with effectively 3 players. But my problem with that is that the bandits only need to deal with 50 life points, whereas the other roles need to deal with 120 life points. So every other role's win condition has to eliminate 3 players, but the bandits only need to eliminate 1 player, being 50 life points. They can find other ways to win that involve more than 50 life points, but part of their advantage is that they only need to deal with 1 player. And in the games that I've played, there is a lot of value in that advantage, right? Like, if I play a deck that can simply deal 50 damage out of nowhere, or, like, one of my opponents is playing a burn deck, or, like, any kind of aggressively slanted deck, even an aggressively slanted deck with a bandit partner of a control deck can posture to win the game very quickly by simply eliminating the king. And this person is literally always like, no, the bandits are bad. Like, I feel like the bandits lose all the time because they're fighting a 3v2. And I'm like, my dude, like, let's keep it real here. The bandits only need to do 50 damage. Right? Like, I am acknowledging the fact that it is a 3v2. I'm acknowledging the fact that, like, you can make a temporary alliance with, like, the knight to eliminate the assassin because the assassin is getting ahead, or something like that. Like, the bandit has a lot of agency within the role that I have felt like I have had success in navigating by virtue of the advantages of the role. But they're like, no, but in my experience, like, this is not the case. And I'm like, I agree that it is possible to not be advantaged as this role. Like, it is possible, and I agree there are disadvantages game states, or game states that are disadvantageous to this role, but that is not all the time. So, like, they're really, really dead set on telling me that it's like, no, this role is bad. Like, I don't know. I was getting a little frustrated because it's like, I am not trying to balance at the level of whether you believe that in your game experiences that this role has no advantages. At the level of design and in theory, like, these roles have advantages. Like, let's just keep it real, man. Like, we don't need to add the rest of this. I don't know, man. I feel like the thing that makes me frustrated more than most things is just when people aren't fucking honest about, like, what is up. You know, like, I'm not claiming that there are disadvantages, but, like, I'm not shirking the fact that there are no advantages, or that there are advantages. It's just, like, so bizarre to me. Right? So, like, the other thing, too, is that, like, you know, if you have one player, in my experience, right, if you have one player who can play a role pretty well and, like, succeeds a lot, and you don't succeed while not acknowledging the benefits of that role, I mean, like, who's being more successful? Okay, like, that's kind of the way that I carve it. But you could also say that I'm simply playing, like, a stronger deck, so therefore I will win more often than normal anyways. Like, regardless of role, because that's a big part of the downside, in my opinion, of Kingdoms. But yeah, I was like, I just feel like this guy downplays a lot, and, like, it's frustrating when I try to point out that, like, you are making scenarios that are bad. Like, you are making only examples that are bad and not choosing to acknowledge that there are examples where this is not the case. Which makes it very hard to balance anything, because it's like, well, if you are of the belief that, like, this thing is only ever bad, then, like, we're gonna shift towards balancing away from, like, giving everyone else a fair shot. And the thing is, like, it's not explicitly incorrect. So with one of the rules changes, I was suggesting that, like, we should give the bandits a chance. But the problem is that it's like, no, that's not enough of a disadvantage, because, like, you need to make it so that the bandits have a clear shot in order to, like, win the game. It's like, I don't think that that's, like, good, right? Like, I don't think the autonomy of a player should be completely taken away, because basically the rules list for the, like, player action, we were going to give the king a player action. In order to give that player action to the king, basically the rules list was like, you can't take any game actions, damage cannot be prevented, you cannot cast spells, you cannot activate abilities, you have to tap all of your permanents, you cannot draw a card, like, all of these things, where I was basically like, okay, so if this is the case, then it feels like the best way to win is to, like, end step Cyclonic Rift your opponents and then activate this ability. Which, the thing is, that's advantageous to my game plan. Like, to multiple of my decks, I can already see how to circumvent this downside, but I felt like the only other thing that this does is that it downplays, or, like, it takes away agency from different gameplay styles. So I was like, I think that this isn't good. So, like, I spent a non-zero amount of time talking about this with them, and I just felt like, you know, they weren't being real. And that was frustrating. It kind of sucks because, like, you know, if they hear this, it's like, well, what? You felt like I wasn't being real? And I'm like, a little bit, yeah. I'm saying that, like, I don't like it when people aren't being fucking real. And I need people to be real. Like, that's it. Like, if I feel like I can acknowledge things that are, like, biased in my favor and be like, I don't think this is fair to people who, like, have it different, and I can acknowledge the different states, but, like, you cannot acknowledge the state that I'm saying, it's like, feels like you're not being real. It's frustrating. If you balance the roles too much, then you'd be playing the normal game, right? Kind of. A little bit. Scared. Garm's sad. Garm isn't a mutant anymore. Don't be scared. He's our friend. Ooh. It's understandable for her to be wary of someone as opposing as Garm. She must be scared of you too. I beg your pardon? Yeah, you're big and scary. What do you say? Big mommy scary. But yeah. Point is, there were some good points that were worth addressing, and I think, like, there was stuff that was... Again, there's stuff that's there, but it's just like... I don't know. I was a little like, bruh. Silencing Light, a portable arcane instrument presently in the experimental stages. Aim, to nullify the effect of the fumes. The device detects when blight infestation has exceeded the limits of the purification vials. Releases a lethal gas before the carrier can transform into a blighted. It is being mandated that all residents of the lower stratum, which is at greater risk from the fumes, carry it on their person. Neat. Wonder if I'll be able to get that. If Lyrilyte was in D&D, what class would he be? Again, I'm pretty sure Lyrilyte is female. Like, at least 90%. Lyrilyte would be some kind of summoner, right? In Pathfinder 2, Lyrilyte would be an inventor. In D&D, maybe artificer. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I think the homunculi or robot thing would lend itself to that. There will definitely be more games like Baldur's Gate, maybe not with the same level of polish, but there will be more CRPGs now that people know there's a market for it. Yeah! It's funny, I think I remember a bit by... My friend watches... Loading Ready Run, I think? They did a bit on... Oh my god. The immediate unfreeze killed me. Immediately. There was a bit that was like... And from the creators of Disco Elysium, they want to make a game in the style of Disco Elysium, except the creative director and the main artist are not on the team. And then it was like, from the team that made Disco Elysium, we have people here to Disco Elysium. And then it's like, wait. Like... So... Apparently there are multiple people trying to make a successor to Disco Elysium, is what I'm saying. But unfortunately, the lead director and the artist are not part of that crew. So, you know, there's... whatever that means to you, you know. Okay, luckily I had the revive. Oh, this connects back to here. That's good. So if we come at it from this side... Was the lead director the president? I have no idea. Raw waste is burnable. Scrap metal is not. Homunculi are for recycling. Sort waste and offer to the gods. Wow, thank you. I clean very good, but Garbage King better. Garbage King, master of cleaning. Incredible. Journal of an Attuner. It has been half a year since I left my companions in the Attuner squad. I thought our job was to aid the homunculi, but the reality proved very different. Only the most gifted attuners are allowed the opportunity to tune. The rest of us, with low resistance to the blight and lower aptitude for magic, are resigned to collecting parts and cores for defunct mutants. We're just cogs in the wheel to both House Milius and House Frost, overworked until we burn out. Damn! Damn, so real! Damn, man. I mean, like, you got... See, that was real. You gotta say it is what it is, man. The company split in at least 3, and all of them want to claim to be the team behind Disco Elysium for marketing new games. Yeah, exactly. Which I think is very funny. Supposedly, the only people who are not actually making a sequel to Disco Elysium, or trying to make like a game like Disco Elysium, is literally the lead director and the lead artist, which is like that is just very funny to me, you know what I mean? The person with the... I mean, like, to be fair, though, right? It's not like those people need to be in charge in order to, like, make the game good. It is possible to, without those people, make a game that is acceptably Disco Elysium-like. But there was, I think Thor has basically said this explicitly, that, like, the people you want to follow are not companies. The people you want to follow are the devs. And there is some truth in that, right? Like, the people who are capable, who are responsible for making a particular thing, which is why I get concerned when something like, oh, the lead director isn't involved. Where, like, the lead director probably had a lot to say about the writing, right? Or even, for example, the concept of failing forward, right? Like, do the new devs appreciate the concept of failing forward as much as the previous lead developer? I don't know, right? Like, there's a chance that they don't, which means that a core aspect, in my opinion, would not be part of the next successor to Disco Elysium or whatever. However, if the people truly understand successful parts of the game design, then what's to say that they can't do it? However, the people who probably do understand the success very well are the people who are directly responsible for creating the game, is all I mean to say. But that's not to say that someone cannot understand what made a game successful and then replicate it if they are dedicated to doing that. So if you want Disco Elysium, except the developers think that failing forward is fake and that should not be a real thing, maybe one of the spin-offs, or not spin-offs, but like one of the teams responsible for making a new one is gonna be fine. Or maybe it's all the same, who knows? I don't actually know. Who knows? But for me, I would... There would be some doubt. Like, there would be some, like, I don't know, you know? It's like if someone was making Spire 2, but it was not the... Like, the writer... I feel like if the writer left the Spire 2 team, like, the events just wouldn't hit the same. And then I feel like if the lead designer left, also similarly, the game just... It would hit a little different, right? Like, when I observed the balance of Slay the Spire, I was, like, appalled at how, like, precise it felt. It's, like, quite admirable how effective the boss fights are at, like, asking for particular things from the player. And then the abstracted concepts, I guess this is more from the player perspective. I'm curious to know if the devs saw it the same way. But basically, each fight kind of asks you to do different things. So, the way that one of the developers put it, oh my goodness, dude, there's so much shit. One of the devs did a GDQ talk, which I felt like was effective at demonstrating their point, where they basically said there should be a reason to pick any card. right? So on any character, there should be a reason to pick any card. I think one of the classic ones for me that I think is very interesting, you know, maybe not super effective on Ascension 20 or like not super effective on like in particular use cases. But the card Barricade, I think a heuristic that many new players use for Barricade is that it is 4 block warrior. The thing is, Barricade is not 4 block warrior, right? It is not, it's not like block warrior is an archetype that you can choose all the time and then like you pick Barricade because you are block warrior. The actual function that Barricade does is that for boss fights that have downtime or for encounters that have downtime, if you can find a way to resolve a barricade, and then also after resolving barricade, draw defense cards when you do not need to defend on a turn, you basically time walk. So if I can produce 50 block on a turn where I didn't need it, that means I literally don't need to block Time Eater in like 2 turns from now. So it's kind of like card draw, it's kind of like it gives you like tempo to play attack cards. Like Barricade can do a lot of things. So the way that the dev put it is that like there should be a reason to pick any card. So in a deck that maybe doesn't have the most amount of card draw, but has like big splashy block cards, not explicitly for the purpose of casting Shield Bash, but maybe for like, I just don't want to be caught with my pants down when I'm fighting Time Eater. Oh my goodness. These fucking, like, side sniper spiders are, like, they are shitting on my face, dude. Like, they are not... like, these spiders, maybe, like, not the biggest concern, but, man, the ones that are shooting from the side that have, like, really good tracking bullets are really shitting on me. So there should be a reason to pick any card. Obviously, certain cards will be better, like Screech ends up being like a very good answer to a lot of encounters. So like Screech ends up just being good on Silent. But you could also say that, oh, I don't have a good way to deal with birds in Act 2, so like I'm gonna take Screech. Whereas like Screech is not as good versus the Orb because it has Artifact. And that the encounters were basically designed with this in mind. So like you can reasonably pick some combination of Screech and defense cards and attack cards to come up with solutions for the encounters in Slay the Spire. So I think where I came from on this was like, hey, if you make a game that does not inherently understand the decision-making process for why you made cards, you end up with games that are like rather different. So you could copy Slay the Spire 99% and then not adhere to certain design heuristics, and then you will surprisingly end up with a different game. Because then there'll be 1 or 2 cards that are like, well, picking this card is just good. Like, there's no reason basically not to pick it. And if that imbalance is very clear and forefront, then you end up with, like, Watcher. Where, like, you can't opt to... Or it's fairly dominating to pick, like, infinite combo machine Watcher. And then it kind of ruins the dynamic. Like, it almost doesn't feel like you're playing Slay the Spire anymore. And I appreciate that. Or I appreciate the idea that the minute design decisions you make to make a particular gameplay experience do actually matter. If you want to follow the devs because of the way that they make decisions, it likely shows itself in the game design. And that's my belief. There's like a few ways that you could, you know, show that. But I think overall it's just like, it's a vibes thing. You know what I mean? It's just vibes. We're vibes based. We're vibes posting. Wait, was that a heal or not? Did I not get the... Okay, I was like... I was freaking out. I was like, wait. I'm gonna die, man. Can I get to the... There's like a switch, and I don't know if this stream is gonna take me to it. Okay, well, this is probably going to kill me. That's too bad. I probably needed to press other buttons for that to work. Oh man, that entire stretch is like a lot. Okay. A game that was obviously made to have a sequel and an ending, to have hope cultivates to not having a sequel and everyone leaving. You think Disco Elysium needed to have a sequel? Really? I don't think I got that vibe at all. I mean, I guess I could see it. Wasn't the purpose, though, like, by the end of the game, you kind of, like, figure everything out, and then, like... Right? Like, all the mystery is revealed. So, like, the character... The journey of the character came to an end, I think, at the end of that game. In my opinion. Didn't the thing you opened appear on the map? So we pulled a switch basically here, and that opened one door here, but there's another switch which is going to open this door, or at least that's how I put it together. So I'm assuming we go up here, and there's going to be two pathways. There's going to be the shortcut back, and then there's going to be this switch which opens this. I wanted to go here because it kind of looks like there's a hidden passage here. So I wanted to do that. But yeah, follow the devs that make games that you like. I'm gonna choose to, without any other inferences or thoughts, I'm pretty sure the people who have been making Monster Hunter have been making Monster Hunter forever. So, you know, they do what I like, and that makes me happy. I'm gonna go up first and open these doors. Open this one. I guess Dark Souls as well. Like the devs that made FromSoft, I think the same devs, made Armored Core, and you can see that DNA in Dark Souls. Like all the little min-maxing of stats and making your build work are all from the olden days of Armored Core. Increases damage dealt by autonomous abilities by 20%. Ooh, so this is for the bird. Earrings carrying the seal of House Lyria. The ornate craftsmanship beneath the thick coat of rust would suggest they were once worn by the house's lord. Follow the dev's advice is also true for movie and TV directors usually. Yeah. Well, because again, like, the thing that is interesting to me about art, and again, this is maybe like kind of a philosophical, like, can you see the intention of art? Does it matter? Is the result the only thing that matters? Etc. But for me, I think that the way that you see problems and the way that you fix things, the way that you incorporate game mechanics, the way you feel like what is fair or not fair, or to what degree, is heavily informed by certainly your expertise as like a designer, for example. Like literally if two numbers don't match, right? Like, if two things are clearly broken, you know? Sometimes you can catch that, right? But ultimately, the decisions you make that are, like, a little more esoteric, right? Like, did we need to put 3 fucking spiders here with a, like, did we need to do all of these all at the same time and put them here? Did we have to do that? Right? It's going to be a result of your experiences as a person. Both off of the media that you watched, the games that you played. And I think that art is very interesting because it is a chain of influence of the things that you have consumed. Clearly, the blonde knight character is heavily informed by Etrian Odyssey's Fortress, Saber, Sophitia, and I genuinely, this is just my brainworms, but I do feel like the reason I like angels is heavily informed by my upbringing. Whether that is fortunate or not. So, it's all just a chain of influence of the things that have happened to you that represent what the result is. And not necessarily is any of that correct. It is simply the result. I do not like this. Art good. Stay away. Everything here belongs to me. I won't lose anymore. Not quite what I expected to find. Yeah, this is the worst. Yep, I don't like this at all. Oh, fuck. That's cool. Alright, we're downloading. We're watching, we're downloading. Cute? You're fucking with me. How dare you? I wonder if I can parry that with the standard parry. Oh, what the fuck? Oh! What the frick? What is this? Oh my god! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What is that? What do you want me to do? That was something else, let me tell you. Okay. I feel like I want to use this one, maybe? Because we don't need this. We don't need this. So we'll take this. And then I wanted to change this to be the whip because it does the most damage. And we don't need the other thing. Does it even stagger? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I thought it did. Let's find out. It does not appear to have a stagger bar. So I'm just a fucking idiot. I am on fire. I am on fire. Oh, fuck. The fuck is this? Oh, what the fuck? What? What is this? What? What the fuck? What is this? It's a dung beetle, hold the beetle. Oh fuck. Okay, so we don't actually need this. I think we want to re-equip that though. We could also go get the, we could like get an upgrade. I think I actually am not even using this, so let's do this. Because I'm not really jumping, because I feel unsafe jumping. I can't. I was wondering if I could equip the thing, but... Alright, let's try this again. Sweet. I guess because this phase isn't actually that scary, it's kind of like a whatever phase. Okay. Phase 2, baby. The snap on it. The snap on it is real! I'm getting snapped on! I'm getting snapped on! Okay, it goes back a few times. Please leave me alone. Old man reflexes on full display. What the frick, man? Listen. It's fast. It's hard, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess the parry is just not going to be very effective once we get to that anyways. It's fine. It's fine. We need to be aware of the fact that it goes back and forth a few times instead of just sitting there like a dumbass. Better or worse than getting strapped on? I am not going to answer that question. I feel like you need to not open your mouth ever again and never say anything. But what I can confirm is that it is worse than getting stepped on. I would much prefer... Ball gag? Listen. You all need to relax. We're talking about a spider here. This is a scary spider beetle thing, core, whatever. That was not good. The burn. very painful. Oops. Whoa, what the fuck? That's new. This is new. Ah. Fucking... No! Ah. Armored armadillo looking ass ball. I mean, actually... Man, fucking armored armadillo. At least they don't bounce around the room like a whole bunch. I'm gonna jinx it, and that's gonna be the last phase. I'm gonna try something. I want to know if the drill move is better. Because I don't know if it, like, installs for longer. I want to try it. Oh, I already have it. Wait, I don't have it. We're gonna try it and see what's up with it. Nope, it's like a constant hold. Yeah, it just like isn't quite what I wanted it to be. Which is fine. I'm gonna go back to doing this one. It's like I just need to correctly respond to the patterns in phase 2. With enough success. Also known as I need to get good, but... I really think the vibe drill's the way to go, don't ask why. I'm not going to because I already know, and you should... Stop. Yamero! I really was just hoping I was going to phase it, and instead I got extremely punished. Ah, they turned around immediately. Fair. Reasonable, honestly. I wonder if I unequip the chain here, because the counter isn't super relevant. Instead we go for the bird. Can I improve the bird? I think this one is the most reliable and does most damage. Yeah, and break damage isn't important. Put you there. And this already does the most amount of damage. Let's equip the autonomous relic. Increases break damage isn't important. This one. It's 4. Oh. Guess we gotta go back. Well, maybe there's new stuff too. We want at least one of these. What is this? Increases attack for a set period. What? Okay. Well, does this mean I don't have any heals anymore? It just changes it to give me more attack power? Don't get status. Restore 1% HP every 4 seconds. Doing damage is taken increases one's defense for a bit. Model parts. I want to try this one. Seems like good. Instead of the don't die once, we get to do more damage. Seems quite good. Equipment. Okay, but is this instead of healing? Like, can I not heal anymore? Oh, I haven't taken damage, so it doesn't let me. Oh, I didn't equip the thing. That's funny. This attack buff is super long. The slow, dude. That was very funny. Okay, what the fuck is this? Okay, is it just fucking went boom? Okay. Lord Motley, I'm sorry, but the head of the house is not long for this world. Oh. Gilroy, what did I do? Will aid you as administrator of the barrier, but as our new lord, you must stay strong. Uncle, what are you doing? Oh, they fucking killing me? You will pioneer a new breakthrough, nephew. Uncle I created from humans. Ah! A chance to embrace eternal life. You should be honored. No! They say lions cast their cubs into valleys. Oh, fuck. Follow your way back up and you can be the new Lord of Milius. Oh, was that me? Is that what happened to me? Oh, no. It's this person. Okay. I see. What is that? Memory of House Milius? They really turn humans into homunculi? Were you once human? Everything was taken from me. Now collecting garbage is all that brings me comfort. Your name is Motley, isn't it? Thank you, Motley. It seemed like an important memory. Motley. My name, yes. Maybe if I go with you, I can regain more of what I've lost. We're journeying to the upper stratum. That's where your home is, isn't it? Thank you. Hook point. Right trigger plus A. Motley strands allow for a new form of traversal. So this is our grappling hook. Neat. Okay. What is right trigger supposed to be? Was it anything before this? So I just get to stand here forever? I guess so. I feel like the context detection for grapple points is misery, let me tell you. Ah, this is it. Ah, excuse me. I managed to find a supply system core. We should be able to make do with this. Leave the rest to me. It's a relief. We're also getting arcane instrument restoration devices set up in town, so stop by whenever you're there. Relic Refinery. Ooh. Ooh, we can improve relics? Let's fucking go. I'm excited. Go to the lift in Old City. I am so excited to improve my relics. Cool. Could you imagine if you just like didn't go to the right there? That'd be really funny. I couldn't imagine though. Okay. Just wanna... Guess we're gonna get the underwater charge a little bit later, huh? Kinda neat. So there is one thing I want to check. It's like over here. So this, because I think we can maybe go up there now. Let's try it. What? I wanted to cancel making the... I wanted to cancel the marker that I just put. You know, I wasn't sure why I wanted to use the wolf rather than just regular things. Ooh, this is kind of cool. But it's because you get scrap. You okay? Hey, you guys are here too. Levy, are you okay? What are you doing here? Don't worry about me. I can run real fast if there's trouble. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you something. Do you know what this is, Lilac? Frost Vestige. An arcane instrument adorned with styling symbolic of House Frost. It appears to be damaged beyond repair. The name Cassia is engraved into it. Huh. I have no idea, but Doesn't look like something House Milius would come up with. It looks handmade. How the hell did she get here? Yeah, I don't know, man. Levy has mysterious movement powers. It looks like someone lost it. Give it back to him if you run into them, okay? All scratched up, so I can't make it out, but there's a name on here. Let's see what I can do. Levy, there's something I want to ask you. What did you mean when you said you're not alone the last time we met? Sorry, Yoel, I found a new partner. Oh. Sorry to introduce you. Hey, Van, where are you? Where's Van? Sorry, it looks like Van isn't around at the moment. What kind of partner does that? I'm gonna go look. Van's hopeless without me. See ya. The frick? That name. Van. I guess she really did think I wasn't coming back. Damn. Abandoned! You got fucking abandoned, bro. Lamau. Unneeded. Discarded. Feels fucking bad, dude. I want to check this place real quick, because we were there before. I guess we could go here. We haven't necessarily been back here yet. We just never did this. Ugh. Oh, I need to swap back to the counterattack. I don't have to, I guess. Does this heal at all? It does still heal, okay. This seems OP. I mean, honestly, like... Well, I mean, if I just die, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but... Level 34. Almost missed it. Why did they include the 34th level in this game? Why don't you just skip it immediately? Terrible. I kind of want to do the charge, actually. Charge does slightly less damage. Less break, but the cooldown is faster. Oh, I didn't note the cooldowns. I'm back, how's it going? Well, we just beat the ball boss. The ball boy. Levy told us that she has a new companion. That we don't know who it is, because they're just not around. We also got some sweet new equipment. Where, like, we get an attack boost when we heal. Which seems like incredibly strong to me. I don't know. It seems like quite good. Relics is what I'm looking for. We also got the ability to improve relics, which I'm really excited for. Yeah. We're stuck on that boss for a little while. It wasn't... It's nice because, like, it wasn't that bad. Like, it's not like I was like, oh, man, oh, I'm so stuck here. Everything's awful. It's just like, I just had to, like, lock in a little bit. Nice. Nice. Gotta make sure to walk the doggos. Are they? Like... Do they just, like, yoink you around? I would like to say that I have never had to walk dogs. I think I've mentioned before many of family Lyria are allergic to pets. So we've not really had the opportunity to have pets. Which I know there are solutions to this, but it just means that at the time we did not have pets. Frankly, I do not trust myself to care for a pet. I don't know. Not because I think I'm a bad person and would be neglectful because I'm a bad person, but I just, for some reason, like, there's just a little bit of doubt in me that I will fail to take care of them. Which makes me sad, right? Increased damage dealt by 20% but below 50. That is seems very strong, but I don't actually want to use it. Wow, that was rude. Do you mind? This guy's a big jerk. I can't, man. Hey, Kindred, welcome. How are you doing today? I'm just struggling to fight this frickin' shield guy. There we go. Okay. You're basically a mutt. Have you been walked? I don't want to respond to this comment because I do not want to share any stories that involve walking or being walked or being referred to as a dog. Not that I would have any of those stories, but I simply do not wish to disclose anything. I have no comments, and I will not say anything further. I hate to spoil it for you, but I genuinely don't have any stories of that. That'd be kind of funny, though, if I did. It would probably explain why I'm such a bottom, but, like, I just don't. It's, like, not. It's just not a real thing. It is literally a lie. Which is exactly something that I would say if I was telling the truth. But, you know. You can write whatever headcanon you want, man. Remember that time where I wore the collar? I thought that was kind of funny. I would put the asset on the screen, but I simply don't have it anymore, so... They love to pull you when some feel like the size of horses. It takes the wind out of you. That's fair. I have never had a dog. I feel like I'd be interested in having a pet if I was, like, well off and I could take care of it, but as it stands right now, I would never own a pet. I've actually also... I've considered, like, a bird, but, birds can potentially be loud, I guess. I guess all pets can be loud, and unfortunately, my problem, I guess, outside of the taking care of them thing, because certainly, like, not due to being a bad person, but just I would feel really bad if I simply forgot to take care of a living being, you know? They're loud. Pets make noise, and noise bothers me, which is unfortunate because I feel like noise shouldn't bother me, but it does, and it's like, man, I don't know what to do about this. Just don't have noise bother you, dumbass. Like, seems like a really easy solution. So I guess with that in mind, it's more like I like the idea of having a pet, but based on what appears to be the truth about my person, I would not enjoy having a pet. That's what I think. Yeah, I think the reality is I simply would not be the happiest pet owner. It's hard, especially with a bird, since unless you want to go outside looking for food for them, their food is a little expensive. Oh, interesting. I didn't know bird food was expensive. I was told if I were ever to get a bird to get two, because they like having company. That was the only recommendation I got off of, like a vet friend. Invisible wall. One of these is going to be a fake wall. Do a fake wall? Haha! I knew one of these would be. Had to be. It's just materials. God damn it. Of course it's just materials. Tilted. Okay, let's fast travel back to base. I would like to see if I can improve my relics. My relics! Relic refinery. That is so much scrap. Oh my goodness. Obviously, improving all of the good ones requires, like, an insane amount of scrap. Damn. This one can't be improved. Oh, this one's really good. Man, why is the scrap requirement so high? I need to start running through more things. Damn. Is that red door there underwater? This one is the gate. It is like the hard gate. It is not a... It's not a thing we can do. You can't go even faster? Boo! I think that would have been cool if you could. Definitely can be, depending on the bird. Honestly, a lot of animals just have a cat right now, since they're easy to take care of, especially if you raise them as a kitten. That's fair. I think I remember you telling me, actually, when you got them as a kitten. I'm pretty sure you were like, yeah, I have this kitten, it's so cute. And I was like, I've never had a cat. Damn, that's cool. How are they doing? Are they did they chill out? Because I swear you told me they were kind of like, you know, they were very kitten-like. A shit disturber. I could be hallucinating all of this, but I'm pretty sure you told me you had a cat. Doing great, and you chilled out a lot. That's good. I mean, hopefully. Like, hopefully they chilled out for a good reason, not because they're, like, traumatized. Can't imagine that would be the case for you. I need more scrap, yo. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Yeah, I also tried to balance a grappling hook, by the way. Reaches damage dealt by 10% when HP is full. That is actually insane. I mean, that is crazy. And that's just insane. I tried to make a grappling hook with momentum. And I do find it funny that in this game there is no momentum with this grappling hook. Because it's like, yeah, man, I feel that. Because trying to get that shit to work was not good. This is just locked. Let's come back. I don't know if I can get to the stuff over here. I'm pretty sure this one is locked because of this thing, which is underwater. Thing up here, maybe? I think that's going to be it for today. I think I'm going to call it. And then we'll pick it up tomorrow. And tomorrow we will, I guess, take the city lift and go from there. Did a little bit of exploring today. Finished a major boss fight. Finished another area. Can you use the upgrade material you got for Nola? Oh, let me check that. Let me check that first. And then we'll call it. Yeah, after I busted the balls, I just, like, I felt like I couldn't continue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't, I can't go on. See if we can enhance the thing. I can use it to improve this. I imagine I could also improve the axe. I mean, let's just... Do we do it just cuz? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really want to get it, because if I need the thing for something else, like... The sword maybe could be good, so let's do this. And hopefully we don't need it for anything else. We need another unidentified core. Man, this shit looks so cool. I want this so bad. Yeah. I guess the NOLA improvements are unique, so there's actually no problem with this. The double uppercut is kind of cool. What is the bomb? What are you doing? Relax. Chill, gamer, chill. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So, hey, if you're still here, big stretch. If you're still here, make sure to stretch. No, if you are still here, hey, just meeting the quotas, goddamn. I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support as always. And I will see you next time. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad your cat's doing well, Rance. That's good. It's good. It's a good follow-up to many years ago. Because I think you literally told me, like, a couple times. When you got the kitten, you were, like, pretty stoked about it. And then I think you didn't really talk about it as much after. So, it's good to know your cat's doing well. And, yeah. Alright. See y'all. Bye-bye, everybody.